Hey everybody, how we doing today? So welcome to my product testers group / Patreons giveaway for the months of January, February, March, April, and May. Yeah, I know I'm behind, but I'm getting caught up. So let's check it out. So basically my Patreon / product testers group are the people that really support the channel, as well as my All About the Bait store. They send me their hard-earned money, and then I use it to buy stuff that I lose, I break, corrosion kills, or stuff I just want to try. And then with the leftover money, I invest it back into the All About the Bait store. So this is just kind of a way for me to give back a little bit, as well as to get some of my new products out and let people check them out. So let me show you here what we've got. Alright, so for the month of January, I'm going to be sending out my new root beer flavored baits. That is going to include the Shimano and the Esky shrimp. It actually took me probably almost a year and a half to get this color right after many mistakes and production issues. Finally got it right, just how I want it. Not too dark, not too light. It's actually dual colored in a way where it is, if you look through it in the sunlight, it's a translucent brown, a very, very light translucent brown. But if you put it against the backdrop, and then it becomes a more of a solid brown. So it's actually multi-dimensional. I really like that. Got the little bit of a silver gold flake into it, so it just gives you a little tint of a flash, as well as it breaks up the side colorations. But really, really happy about that. This is probably the proudest color that I've had, because it took so long beyond the actual original color. But I'm going to be sending out samples of the Shimano and the Esky for you to try out. But that will be for the January people. The names should be scrolling either here or here while I'm talking about that. But anyways, that is January. Alright, for the month of February, February is going to be the month of chum. If you chum, they will come. And I've been waiting for this, but this is my brand new custom designed 1-inch mesh chum net, which also is the direct replacement for the 1-inch chum ring. Okay, since I was able to custom design this one, I was able to pick the colors. So I wanted a third different color. I have the black 3/4. I've got the standard blue into the 1.25 inch. So I made the 1-inch square in kind of an emerald green. So I have different colors, easier to distinguish. And bam, there you go there. I do have the other 1-inch, which was a temporary. It's a smaller size, more just for bag usage versus the actual chum ring in the interim, since it was a stock bag that I could just buy for momentarily. But now that I've got the full 1-inch. So for the month of February, I'm going to be giving away a couple of the different bags, whether it be the 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1-inch, 1 1/4. I'm just going to give a couple of selections, knowing that a lot of people aren't necessarily in the Keys or the southern Florida where we actually chum a lot. But the other usage for these, if you aren't going to be using for the chum, they're great dry bags. No, they don't keep your stuff dry, but for keeping gear that gets wet, that you want to have air and dry out so it doesn't rot. Especially if you have snorkel gear, scuba gear, your swimming stuff, your fishing stuff. If you change after you go fishing, then you come back, change into dry clothes, you never want to stuff that stuff in like a garbage bag or anything, because it'll mold and stink. You can just throw them in these bags, and then it'll air dry, and you don't have to worry about that until you get home. These are also washable, so you can throw the whole thing in there, or if you want to separate stuff so they don't mix, they work great as a wash bag. Other uses that I actually use them for is for my fruits and vegetables as a hanging bag. Boom, just put them inside there, and then they can breathe, and then you can hang them up and they'll be out of the way, so it's a saver there. So a bunch of different stuff, but that will be for my February people, and there you go. Alright, March is top water month, and I added to my lineup of top water baits. I've got 4 new colors here. I've got the blue, I've got the pink, I've got the red with the chartreuse back, and then also kind of a frog color there. Big hit in the keys, all our frogs we got there. But no, I need something for the bass guys. So I've got 4 new colors. I'm going to be giving a couple of these out. And that will be for my March product testers to see how they like it. I will also be including the inline J hooks so that you could take off the treble hooks and just try running just the single or double J hooks and see how you like those. I personally hate trebles, can't stand them, so that was the reason why I wanted to add those to the package. So you'll get a set of replacements as well for these top water baits. Top water baits, I still haven't done any videos about them yet. I've been just kind of busy about it, but they're one of my favorite long-term baits, especially for the shore fishing along the bridges and at nighttime. For the juvenile tarpon and anything that bites. It's kind of like that interim sight fishing, because you don't necessarily have to see the fish, but you're going to see the fish when they attack these baits on the top. Love that explosion. Super fun bait, and then they're excellent for use as a search bait when you're covering a lot of water. And these guys are rear weighted, so there's a little ball bearing in the back. It's a rattler. But more importantly, what it does is that when you cast, that ball bearing back there gives it weight, so that flies out aerodynamically, and you can launch these guys a mile. This is probably the farthest casting lure that I carry out of everything. And so I can just launch it way out there and then work it back. You start getting blow-ups on it, then you know where the fish are. Then you can keep doing this, or you can switch over to something else, and there you go. So that will be my March Product Testers Group giveaway. Bam! Alright, so we've got April, and April is actually going to be a true product test, since it's an item that I don't carry, but I'm just going to check it out, see how it goes. And that is the George Poveromo Peanut. Alright, George Poveromo, he runs the World of Saltwater Fishing. If you watch the TV shows, especially back in the day, pre-YouTube fishing, you would see his saltwater shows were very popular. But he came up with this, which is the George Poveromo Peanut. Basically, it is a mini-me Cuda tube, just scaled down to a couple of inches. The way it worked out back in the day, especially out mahi fishing, dolphin fishing, you'd bring up a school, and then you'd have your pitch rod with either some sort of artificial bait, chunk bait, or possibly live bait, and then you would just work that school. Well, back then, the go-to bait was the bucktail jig, and those are what they would use for primarily for a pitch bait. You can cast them a mile, have great action, and then the dolphin would tear those up. However, after a few fish, those the bucktails would get kind of beat up, start falling apart, and they were kind of pricey to keep having to swap out. So he sat down thinking, how do I get a better bait? Now, he also used Cuda tubes to catch cudas on the flats. Then he thought, well, those Cuda tubes lasted all day, even with those heavy-hitting razor tooth cudas, but yet they would survive a day of fishing with those. So that would be great if he could actually manipulate it for those dolphin. So that's where he came up with the little peanut idea. Basically just taking a little bit of that tube, egg sinker with a wire going through it, and your choice of hooks, and a swivel on the end, and you have a little small profile. It's got the 1/4 ounce weight, so you can cast it a mile. You could work it right along the top, which was the preferred way. Get them really chasing after that fleeing bait fish type of thing. But he also used it to let it sink when they started going off of that. Let it sink, dart it along the mid-water column, or he even used it for bottom bouncing for groupers, muttons, and snappers, and so forth. So it's just a real good, quick, cheap, universal bait that he could use and go to when he needed it. So I ended up having a bunch of little scraps. So I thought, hey, that'll be a great deal. Just test that out. So I came up with the little George Poveromo Peanut. And then I'm going to be sending these out to you guys. Also, in that regard, I have the standard classic 7/16 inch tube, but also have the 1/4 inch tube. So I figured, how do I use those scraps? So I got the 1/8 ounce 3/0 fish head jig head, the ones I sell, and I was able to come up with this little guy here. Got the little floppy tail, fits perfectly on that 1/8 ounce jig head there. Nice solid bait, can cast it, work along the top, bottom, flats fishing. It's just a nice, cool little, probably like a fluke replacement is what it is, but very neat there. So I'm going to send out one of each, and then I'm going to send out a kit to make one of each so that you can customize yours at home and just kind of do something. I've got the standard tail on there. You can make a split tail. George Poveromo's on his guide to making them didn't have a tail. It was just a flesh cut straight tube. That was it. And so you can, he put painted on eyes and gills and all that stuff, so you can customize your own and check them out and see how they work. So that will be for the month of April. All right, that brings us to May. May is summertime. Summertime is hot. So I got the new All About the Bait logo t-shirt. Bam! All right. If you saw my last video, I just got 300 of the new blue All About the Bait logoed t-shirt, and then I got back in stock the black version there. So for the month of May, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you out a little thank you card. Okay, and on the back is going to have your own personalized discount code. So the way it's going to work is, since I don't know everybody's sizes, I'm going to just send you that code. You can go to the AllAboutTheBait.com, t-shirts, pick out either your blue or your black. Okay, pick whatever your size is. Pick up something if you need something. All right, and then when you check out, there's going to be a little discount code box. Take that code I sent you, bam, on the back, enter that in there, and it's going to deduct the cost for the t-shirt there, and I'll send it right out to you. So that is going to be for the month of May. All right, there you go. I'm caught up. Well, except I have to actually like package these all out and print up the shipping labels and take it down to the post office. So it's not coming to you right now. Okay, give me some time. I need a nice 2 or 3 day, 20 to 30 knot wind day will be perfect. So I figure it'll take about 3 days to get all this finished. And then boom, it'll be coming out to you. All right, so be patient. You've been patient for 5 months. What's a couple more days here? But anyways, I just want to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys rock. It's probably the most impactful thing that really helps me out, having that kind of pool of money that I can rely on. So when I lose something, and I will lose something, or if corrosion eats something, because corrosion eats everything, or if I just want to try something new, test it out. Last thing I got was my little sonic, ultrasonic vibrating cleaner, which I just so happy I got, as well as a bunch of other stuff that keeps the channel rolling, makes the channel better. Okay, having that pool of money just makes things so much easier since I don't have to think about it. I need it, boom, take that money and I get it. And then if there's anything left over, I don't spend it on hookers and coke. I invest it into the All About the Bait store. It's hugely complex now, and it costs me a lot of money, so everything counts. So anything left over that I don't use, I invest it into new products, as you see here, ordering more of products so I have stock, ordering racks if you watch my last video, because it's all about the racks, or all about the boxes. So everything costs, even though I use it to make money, it takes money to make money. So having that money really helps out, so I appreciate it a ton. If you're interested in joining the club, you can go to patreon.com/Key West Kayak Fishing, or look in the description below. The way it works is the people that are on $5 to $19 on that monthly recurring are my Patreon supporters. I put you into a hat, and then every month I draw 10 names, and that is who gets my monthly item. And then the people that are on my 20 or higher, I automatically just give you whatever the monthly giveaway is for that month. So check that out. Just understand you gotta be patient, because it's not like a lot of this stuff is I have to wait for it. I'm making it, I'm producing it. All this stuff is my custom design stuff, so it's a lengthy process. These root beers, 1.5 years. I've been trying to get this right. Finally got it. So the nets have been working probably over a year. This green one is my last one, so I'm finally finished with that one. But all this stuff takes a long time, especially the custom ones. So sometimes it prolongs I can't get done every 30 days. It might take a little while. But as you see, I'm good to my word. I get you caught up. But anyways, again, just a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys are the one that really puts the cash out there, and that really helps the most. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you next video. Bye.